I usually give Braden a list, on Friday or over the weekend of guests I'd like. And this gentleman was on my list because I'm really excited about him coming back. I saw him 2 years ago when he came to San Diego State from Navarro Community College down in Texas. He played in 32 games, the reserve. This year he was a starter. And right from day one, every game he got better and better and better. And, of course, helped lead the Aztecs to a Mountain West Conference regular season title and the Mountain West Conference tournament title. Very happy to welcome right now on our premier Chevrolet of Carlsbad fan hotline, Trey Pulliam to the program on 97.3 The Fan. Trey, John Quintera, very nice to have you today. Welcome.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me.
Hey, let me ask you this, because I spent a little time many years ago down in the state of Texas, and I spent time, I was coaching baseball at Texas Tech University, but I spent time around Bryan, Texas, College Station. What's it like growing up around Texas A&M?
I mean, it was good. It was definitely an eye-opener for me. Growing up around a university like that, I mean, it always made me want to go to a college and play for a big school. I always went to their games and stuff like that. So growing up just in that environment, it always made me want to push and strive to make it to college and be able to play at that platform.
I want to ask you, I kind of want to do a little bit of a timeline, and then we'll get to your decision to come back for another year at San Diego State. But, you played at AM Consolidated High School there in Bryan. What kind of high school player were you?
I was good. I was always good. I always had a high skill set, especially for the kids around my age and stuff like that. I was kind of just always I was good, but I never really made that jump until my senior year, and then I got hurt my senior year, so I missed the majority of that. And then from there, I didn't have any scholarships or any offers or anything like that, so I ended up having the opportunity to go to a prep school in Houston called Provision Academy, and then from there, that kind of fell through. But during that process, that's whenever I learned about JUCOs, and I ended up playing a lot of different JUCOs in Texas, and then I played Navarro, and then that's how I found out about them, and I stayed in contact with them, and then I had the opportunity to do that, and then that's really where my career just took off.
Hey, Trey, talk a little bit about playing at Navarro Community College down there in Texas. I don't know, we have junior college basketball out here, but in Texas, they actually give players in Texas scholarships to play at junior college. That's something that doesn't happen here in the state of California. And I mean, there's legendary players going back, 30 and 40 years that played community college in Texas. But just talk about the brand of basketball, because it's a very, very high level of basketball for a 2-year community college.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a higher level than basketball than people think. I think a lot of people don't really know too much about JUCO or know the seriousness of it. But I mean, there's a lot of good players in JUCO that have came out and made it to high Division I's and made it to the league and stuff like that. So I mean, the level of play is high. I mean, it's the real deal. I mean, like you said, they're giving scholarships and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a high level of basketball. It's just a grind. I mean, that's the main thing. I mean, it's a grind. It's a tough grind.
And we're visiting with Trey Pulliam, coming back for another year at San Diego State, joining us here on 97.3 The Fan. Trey, let's talk about when you came into San Diego State. That you were getting recruited by other schools. You decided to come to San Diego State. You're trying to find playing time. You get into 32 games, all as a reserve. Well, what was the biggest adjustment going from junior college ball, where you're playing a lot of minutes, and now you're coming off the bench and got a completely different role?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Coming here, I mean, once I got here, it was completely different than what I thought. It definitely was a big change for me. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into until I was here, So, I mean, with challenges and stuff like that, I mean, I didn't really know what my role was going to be or anything like that. So, I mean, just not knowing how much you'll play or, you know what I mean, things like that were kind of difficult for me. But I mean, I worked through it and just try to continue to get better. I mean, I never looked at it as a bad thing. Like I said, I was playing behind two great guards. I mean, everybody knows Malachi, but KJ was a great guard too. That, I mean, I picked up a lot of things from them, learned things from them that has only benefited me in my game today. So, I mean, it was good. It was good.
What was it like going against Malachi Flynn every day in practice?
It was great. I mean, one of the best things for me as a player, to be able to learn behind a guy like that. Like I said, KJ as well. But, I mean, Malachi, everybody knows he's a great player. He's real efficient. His mindset is just different. So, it's a lot of things you can pick up from a guy like that that can improve your game. And, you know what I'm saying? You realize why people are where they're at today, and it's because of the work he puts in and his mindset about the game. So, I mean, that's stuff that I picked up from him.
Hey, we're visiting with Trey Pulliam, guard of San Diego State. Big factor in the Aztecs winning both the regular season Mountain West Conference title and the tournament title. Let's talk about what was supposed to be your senior year. You become an every night starter. And like I said when I brought you on, I thought you got better and better and better as the year went on, much more comfortable. You became a little bit more of an offensive force rather than just playing defense and bringing the ball up and ditching it off to everyone else. You became a guy that teams had to account for offensively. What was it like going from, the bench coming off 32 games a year ago to being a starter and being a guy that Coach Dutcher counted on each and every night to get the team into what they needed to do offensively?
It was definitely a big step and a big jump for me just in that role of this team. So, especially my first year, like I said, we were a great team. So a lot of stuff like mistakes I made or stuff I didn't know, like we easily could make up for and stuff. It wasn't as important at that time, but this past year, just stepping into that role, like just learning how to run the team, like picking up on stuff, like it was a lot of stuff that I had to learn last year, my senior year, that I probably could have learned a little bit quicker, but so I had to pick up on stuff a little bit faster. Just learning how to play within the system and just, like you said, just getting better every game, just picking something up from every game and trying to improve on it and not make that mistake and just get better and better. And like as that started to happen, my confidence started to get better. So, and I just worked into playing like my game. Like I think what everybody saw last year or towards the end of the year is like more of like how I play and like just me playing with confidence and just being me.
Trey Pulliam, our guest here on 97.3 The Fan. Man, I got so many questions to ask you, but I want to ask you, and we know all about the COVID protocol and the testing and everything you guys had to deal with, and my hat's off to you and really to all athletes at all levels that had to deal with that to be able to continue and play. But what was it like, whether you're on the road or especially at home, when normally the Aztecs would take the court and the Aztec, a band is playing the Aztec fight song, you guys are coming out to start layup drill. What was it like running out of the locker room this year with really the only people in the arena were the players, coaches, trainers, and the people running the time clock and the PA announcer? What was it like?
At first it was really weird. It was definitely different. It's hard to explain how it was, but after probably like midway in the season, you forget about all that. Like it gets to the point where that's like the normal. It's regular. So I don't think guys used to even think about it. After a while, you get used to nobody being there and just it being more like a practice type of vibe, more than just fans being in there. So it's more just like adapting and getting used to it being like that.
Hey, Trey, tell me what went into your decision. The one thing I would like to ask before you tell me what went into the decision and why you decided to come back for another year, where are you academically? Are you close to graduation? Because I know you were a junior college transfer, and sometimes, things may not transfer from Texas to California and vice versa. But where are you at academically right now as far as graduation?
Academically, I was on track to graduate this year, but since I'm coming back, they pushed some of my classes back so that I can graduate next year. So I'll graduate next spring.
Okay, very good. Now, take me through all the different scenarios. You could have graduated, you could have moved on to life, you could have tried to play at the next level professionally somewhere. Why are you coming back? What was the factor?
I thought about all the factors for a long time, just about the different options and decisions, and I just felt like it was best for me to take another year here and just be able to showcase my game. Like you've been saying, everybody's been noticing that I was getting better towards the end, and like I'm really just starting to get in the rhythm and the flow of like being at the best that I can be. So I wanted to give myself the chance to be able to showcase my talent for a whole year and just play with the confidence I've been having and just see how far I can go from there. And I want to be able to have the best opportunity to play here in the States. Of course, I have dreams of playing in the NBA and stuff like that. So I still want to be able to shoot for that, and I feel like the best way for me to do that is to stay in the United States and stay here at San Diego State and play right in front of the eyes of these people that I want to play for.
Okay, I got two more questions. Number one, what are you going to work on from now until when basketball season starts in the fall?
Definitely my shot. Offensively, definitely my shot, and just continue to make the right reads more consistently, like just cutting out the mistakes and the slack that I have in my game and just improving and just taking the next step to be the best player that I can be.
Hey, Good to have you on. I want to do this again sometime. I really enjoy your game, and like I've said multiple times, as the season went on, you just got better and better and better, my friend. Congratulations on a great year, and we'll look forward to what the future brings for Trey Pulliam out there at San Diego State.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me on.